Right, this is Gazney on for Mayhem Radio at HRH Vikings Chapter 1. And I'm delighted to be with 6/7 of Hærken.
Kind of. Yeah. You can stand in for Steve. We've got the same man here. Where's Rachel?
Programming.
Oh, yeah. The lighting designer is absent. The drummer is absent. The guitar tech is absent. But we have the stage manager, the sound guy, 3 people, and a stand-in. Thanks, Dave.
Everybody knows a guy called Dave.
Everyone needs a guy called Dave.
To be fair, most people know our Dave.
Gets around a bit.
We're on first on the main stage.
On the main stage?
Yeah, 5 o'clock today.
How did that come about? Or did you just go through their usual channels?
That was off the back.
Our manager, who's not actually here, he will tell you this story because he knows.
I know the story.
Oh, you do?
He told me the story, yeah. So we came to HRH Vikings off the back of the HRH Metal performance, and we got introduced to the HRH team via Dan, our manager, who was working with some other bands at his day job that performed with HRH, and so he mentioned us to Johnny, the booking agent that's been around and enjoying himself for his birthday this weekend already. Sent him some info about us, and the booking came about fairly quickly. Like I say, he liked what he heard. We got booked for the 3rd stage, and Dan came back to him and said, "Yep, that's fine. We're all down to it. Just so you know, here's a video of some of the shows that they've done." Sent in the Bloodstock video from the Sophie stage that we played there, and a video from Uprising at De Montfort Hall. Johnny comes back to him. "Oh, that's a big show, isn't it?" "Yeah, that's a big show. They're going to need a bigger stage then." Bumped us up to the main stage. So we came to HRH Metal, did a big performance there, and they said, "Yeah, can you come do that again in Sheffield?" So here we are.
So when you say big performance, are we talking lots running about, or is it just the actual things you've got on?
There's a lot of theatrics.
Quite a bit of moving on the stage. We don't stand still as much as we can, as we're not tied to the drummer, obviously can't run around, and vocals are restricted obviously to where the mics are, but when there's not anything happening, we're quite dynamic, I think is the word I probably want.
Keeping the photographers on the toes.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of atmosphere on the stage. There's a lot of activity. There's more activity today even than usual. So,
have you got something special planned for the show then? Or is
of course.
Have you just kept in?
What? That's not going to go out until afterwards.
Oh, well, yeah, go on then. Sorry.
So you can make sure that you're in the front, in the mosh pit area for our set, at least by halfway through, when anyone that's in us at Bloodstock will know what's coming, but they won't know when.
Interesting stuff. So how does this whole band performance theatre thing that you've got, how does that work when you have to play smaller clubs and shows around the country?
It's a scalable performance to a degree, but there's only so small a stage that we can play on these days. Literally, not because we think we're a big deal, just because we've got that much stuff going on.
There's a lot of I say a lot. There's a bit of accoutrements for the stage that we put on. We've got banners and embroideries and weapons and shields.
Fully immersive.
That we just to make it look a bit more interesting rather than looking at 4 blokes stood there.
So going by that, then I'm guessing you've got quite a historical theme to your music, should we say? I don't want to pigeonhole it to the whole Viking thing.
Yeah, we're very much an English riposte to the Viking metal thing.
Yeah, we sing about Robin Hood and King Arthur.
All right.
Whereas they sing about Thor and Odin.
I've been quite new to the band. I have no experience of your sound or your image. So
good.
It's all going to be.
I hope you enjoyed today.
I like the. Everybody seems to have jumped the Viking ship, as it were, and there's only a couple of bands that are doing a more English spin. And being quite, I don't want to say patriotic, nationalistic, because it brings up whole funny.
We're definitely not nationalists, but we love the literary heritage, and that's what we celebrate.
There's a lot of folklore.
There was a very real danger of some excellent stories being lost to the annals of history if we don't
keep telling them,
retell them. In a similar way as a bard would have done many years ago. They'd stroll around from village to village with nothing but the lute and the lyric and entertain the masses, and so we're kind of doing it now with death metal.
So is this this vibe that you've got, is that what kind of drew you as musicians together, or
the idea was there before we wrote a note of music?
So you all kind of knew each other before?
Of sorts. Ben and I met at work, and Ben and John were in a previous band together.
John and Steve were at college together.
And John and Steve, the drummer who's absent, were at college together. So we kind of all knew each other of sorts.
So you kind of, the love of the folklore.
It was kind of like an idea with its own gravity.
You just happen to be metalheads as well, so
conveniently.
So, where are you guys from?
Originally, or where are we based?
Birmingham.
So, do they have their, obviously being a Yorkshire myself, I got the Robin Hood, Northern kind of things going on?
Yeah, of course.
Is there anything local?
There's not a fat lot that I've dug up from Birmingham itself, but there's, like you say, from the peripheries, there's a load in Leicestershire and Staffordshire and Warwickshire and all the way around, but nothing. I mean, there is obviously, but nothing that we've happened upon yet that we've managed to retell. There's time. Early days.
Because there's only so many stories you can fit into an album. We started with some of the better known stuff, some of the important pieces of literature, and it's from all around the British Isles. Some of it
generic stuff that people probably would have, or certainly would have heard of some of them already.
So the album's made up as individual compositions, or do you keep a theme to it, or is it developed?
They're individual stories, but I suppose the album that's out of Warriors and Kings is the stories are told in chronological order, but they're not. I mean, there's a couple, I suppose, that are linked kind of throughout, but they're their own little.
The debut.
But really encourage people to listen to the record as a whole, because it does flow musically as well.
Is this your only album then, or is this?
At the moment,
How long have you been going?
Nearly a decade.
It's hard work, man.
Just being in a band is hard work, or just
being in a band and trying to juggle families and jobs and whatever else.
Add drummers that join the forces and stuff like that.
People took us a long time to pinpoint the drummer. Our previous drummer Austin was deaf drummer longer than he was actually in the band, because he was joining the forces and he never knew exactly when he was going to go, so it was kind of awkward. Trying to keep going.
Word of advice to anybody: don't start a band. Not unless you don't know anything else to do. That's the reason we're here, is because we can't help ourselves.
Is that what's kept you going through a decade of ups and downs?
Well, we just can't stop. It's a compulsion for me. I don't know about anyone else.
Are you starting to see the fruits of your labours, as it were? I think
we started to see that.
Tell us at 6 o'clock.
We started to see big turning round when we did the Metal to the Masses. The Bloodstock
back in 2011.
competition, 2011. That was the first time that anybody pays any real attention and said you should really continue with this and maybe do. And if we're allowed to mention names, Simon Hall particularly said, tweak your set this way, that way, and then all of a sudden we ended up at Bloodstock, got invited back a second time, and.
So would you advocate bands going for a Metal to the Masses? Would you say that's...
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it, absolutely. Don't think, just fill the form in, get involved.
Not just because we got Bloodstock staff on crew with us today. Just sitting there with his thumbs up.
Our stage manager for the day is Drask, who is the Sophie stage manager at Bloodstock. So we're
we're eternally
very
grateful.
privileged today to have him wearing the orange sable colours of Hærken.
So if we can go a bit back to your sound, you said you're a death metal band. What kind of death metal? Because it's not just a straightforward...
Just death metal.
Melodic death. Trying not to be boring. So we try to throw in a few musical surprises.
It sounds easier than it is.
Yeah, easy to mosh to, hard to play.
It's a shit question, but obviously with people and myself being unfamiliar with it points them in a direction of what kind of sound you've got.
Yeah.
It's not good to say, you are a death metal band, because...
The myriad of death metal bands or incarnations of is vast.
I think complicated among math.
As Ben, the bass player, departs to answer the phone, probably to the drummer who's lost.
Somewhere in the maze of back rooms here at the O2.
Reverend returns.
Yes, the druid is nearly here.
The druid drummer is nearly here. I was right.
Is he a genuine druid, or is he just like dressing up here?
Depends what you mean by genuine
It's all
druid. What is a druid?
Does he live on angles?
His mindset is very at one with the earth, I would say. He embraces nature.
As a theatrical concept, what the characters that we've created are kind of archetypes of ourselves. So it's
caricatures of our inner selves.
That reminds me of
who we want to be in an imaginary world.
Is now a good time for today's surprise? That's something I haven't told the band yet.
Oh God. I did wonder why it was a bit longer at rehearsal the other day. There we go. Brilliant.
Not a great line for radio. Everyone's just found out that I've shaved my head into a tonsure to really embrace the monk image for the day.
Excellent. That's amazing.
I hope people can see that from floor, because it's a beauty.
Brilliant. There we go.
I knew you'd approve. Yeah, and that's the fun of it. It's all a bit tongue in cheek, but it's all properly researched at the same time, and it's.
We tread very carefully on the line between music and theatre and parody. They're a central point where they all meet, and we're kind of balancing.
Serious
sway
music.
around one section to the next.
Yeah, serious music, serious theatre, not serious people.
So where does the band go from here then, after obviously the show, and then is there anything in the pipeline?
Like Ben said, after at 6 o'clock.
There is new material. Some people have been treated to a debut of it at Birmageddon earlier in the year, and it's like I said earlier, it's been hard to get new stuff going with all of the other things that go on, but there is new material coming. It's good, it's proggy, it's
ticked away in the background, hasn't it, while people have babies and move houses and sort their lives out in other various. So
Delicately put,
something has to go at some point, and the band obviously is the first thing to get put on a back burner when life gets in the way.
Is it a collective writing process then, or do we have primary? Yeah.
No,
it's always a collective effort.
Bits of here and there. A couple will write a bit, and then a couple will take that apart, put it back together, and then there might be 3 of us that do something else completely different, or mix and match. Everybody throws the stuff on the table, and then we see what comes out.
After a decade, you kind of have an idea of what your sound is going to be, and not within its parameters, but obviously some things will be too far out of band school.
Well, we've got some clue when we first started.
We've got some really loose concepts, and some ideas that we want to follow. When we first started, we were just jamming along to some actual medieval sounds, and just to see what could be done with them, what sort of treatment they could be given. And you'll still hear, if you spend some time with the music, you'll hear layers of authentic medieval motifs dropped into contemporary death metal ideas, and that's the kind of blend that we're looking for all the time.
Are you just a guitar, drum, bass vocalist, or have you got layered?
Quite often 2 vocals.
Quite often 2 vocals. There's on the first album there are, like I say, accoutrements. There's a harp, and there's a baron, there's a whistles and flutes to kind of embellish the medieval feel, I suppose, of the record. And when we get a chance, we do that sort of thing live if we can.
So do you have a stab at playing the traditional instruments, or have you just drafted people in?
No, we did everything ourselves except for the harp, where we got a friend to do the harp, but the baron and the whistles were done.
Yeah, shout out to Alison Eve, wonderful harpist.
There we go. And bagpipes as well, funnily enough, whose band is here. Isanos playing tomorrow.
Excellent band.
Ollie from Isanos. Oh, I thought they were today. I thought they were tomorrow. Even better.
This festival's basically a big folk metal loving. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Allcorp's very similar ethos to ours. They sing about myths as well, tell stories.
Have you found the mini fest circuit to be quite a busy one this year? This gone year, 2018. We did a few. There are plenty of really good lower level festivals, aren't there, which we go to as well as playing at if we can. So it depends. Busy playing, we did a few I think over the summer. I don't know what next year will bring, because like I say, we kind of took our foot a little bit off the accelerator to do live stuff. We'll see what happens after Christmas. We're going to crack on with recording and see where that takes us, and then probably Thrashosaurus will kick off our festival season, I suppose. And hopefully there'll be more to come in.
We like
of those sort of ilk.
If you're a festival booker and you're listening to this, we like festivals.
Yeah, festivals are good. Festivals are great.
Have you found that there's possibly an oversaturation of smaller events?
I don't think so. There's enough. There's enough for everybody.
I think it's the future. The big headline acts that you get, or that you used to get, they were great, but there isn't an economy in the music scene at the moment to support that. But what there is a new piece of diversity, niche bands that are finding audiences thanks to these smaller events that they wouldn't otherwise be able to reach. Medieval melodeath. What we're doing. Who's that for? Well, we just make it for ourselves, really. But being able to find an audience by playing events like this that pull in people that are just attracted to that kind of a sound really worked well for us, and it really worked well to diversify the metal scene recently, and long may it continue.
I just thought I'd ask that question because there's a couple of promoters up my way who were kind of not in favour of being so many single 2-day kind of events, because they claim it's having a knock on those who can run a tour up and down up and down the country, because there's every other week there seems to be another kind of.
But they could incorporate these sort of shows into a tour. You could easily do a tour of festivals with the amount that there are, and there's never a shortage of people at any of these events.
So lads,
like Ben says, I think it's the way forward. It's the way of the future.
Keep talking to each other. There's so much great stuff happening that we can really breathe a lot of life into the scene, and there's a lot of there to be found already.
Speaking of life in the scene, what's Birmingham like?
It's the same as everywhere else, really. Everywhere's had their fair share of troubles, and everywhere's got their fair share of really wonderful talent, both on and off the stage.
So we'd say it's looking good.
Countrywide, I would say, and it has been probably since we started.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years, the underground. I don't like the term, but underground. What I mean is unheard of, unsigned, people that are off the radar to the masses, which is why you get metal to the masses, and that puts stuff in front of people that they wouldn't otherwise have access to. It's win for everybody.
Excellent. Right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.